With Week 11 now in the books here for the NBA season, let's take a look to see who we should be adding to our teams and dropping coming up next on Beat the Odds. Don't go anywhere. Hello, sports fans. Welcome back to another episode of Beat the Odds. We're going to do the over-under report here for Week 11 of the NBA basketball season. We're going to take a look at 5 players that we will be looking to drop from our teams and 5 players that we should be looking to pick up. As of course, here we always encourage you guys to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and we do have a subscriber giveaway. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers, we will be giving away that Anthony Edwards PSA 9 slab to a lucky subscriber. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel so that way you can be part of that fun. All right, let's get into the 5 players we should be dropping for our team. Starting in Denver, we have KCP. 11 points per game, 2.8 rebounds, 3.0 assists, 1.3 steals on 49% shooting from the field, 100% from the line. He's now the official 5th option on offense, behind, of course, Jokic, Murray. You got Gordon there, and KPJ is back in the mix. And he's just not, KCP is just not doing enough on the supportive stats to really warrant a roster spot in fantasy. 2.8 rebounds, 3.0 steals. Really doesn't move the needle a whole lot. It's a very bland line that you're seeing here from Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Now, of course, the shooting percentages are nice. 49 and 100 is really good to see. 1.3 steals certainly helps, but he needs a little bit more for me to really have a good look for him on fantasy squads. He would be a drop candidate here for me. Up next, we are going to be going to Utah. Malik Beasley. Now, I was initially, when I was doing the research for this week, I was considering dropping him, but I'm going to switch that to a hold. Now, he's currently 59% owned in Yahoo leagues, 24 minutes per game last week. He had 11.5 points, 3.8 rebounds, 2.0 assists on 33% from the field, 75% from the line. Let him play out this week to see exactly how it works out here. Sexton was sidelined for this week. I think it was an ankle injury or something like that there that he re-injured. So that means that Beasley is going to get a lot more usage on that second team, which may result in Beasley starting to put up some gaudy points, totals, and 3-point shots because, you know, he can get hot real quick. So I would just kind of hold back for a little bit, see how he does. If he's not really helping you out there by midweek's time here, then feel free to drop him. But for now, hang on to Malik Beasley. Let's see what happens here this week. Up next, we're going to go to Memphis, and we brought him up a few times here. Brandon Clark, 8 points per game last week here, 6.3 rebounds, 1.0 assists. He's currently rostered in 56% of leagues, 17 minutes per game last week, and that's the stat that really hurts. He chipped in 1 steal a game here too, which was kind of nice to see. 60% from the field, 100% from the line. If he's able to get more minutes, then he's not going to be on this report, but he just can't seem to break past that 20 minutes per game mark, and that's not going to cut it here. He needs to get more in order for his lines to be a little more steady. It's hard to stomach somebody who's going to be playing in less than half the games. Up next in Detroit, we're going to go Saddiq Bey. 68% owned. He averaged 28 minutes per game here last week. 16 points, 5.5 rebounds, 1.8 assists, 1.3 steals on 41% shooting from the field, 86% from the line. I was really hoping for Saddiq Bey to put up some big numbers with all of the suspensions that were handed out after that brawl against Orlando, but it didn't seem like he really made the most of that there. The first game he played, he got 10 points on 13 shots, and then he got 18 minutes of playing time on the second game and registered 13 points for that. And at this point in Saddiq Bey's career, is he just going to be a 40% shooter? If that's the case, then again, he's going to do more harm than good. I wouldn't hang on to Saddiq Bey hoping that you're going to get a huge turnaround and going to see big opportunities from him. I think that ship might have sailed. Up next in Utah, Kelly Olynyk, 69% owned in leagues here, 29 minutes per game last week, 9.3 points, 4.3 rebounds, 3.0 assists, a steal and a block a game, 32% from the field, 77% from the line. He's in a month-long shooting slump. He's averaging 40.2 field goals percentage here over the month. That's not really going to cut it for a center. It's nice that he chips in with his with 3-pointers and with assists, but he really needs to clean up that shooting percentage here to be a viable piece on a fantasy squad. Also, there is Walker Kessler's emergence just right over his shoulder. He's starting to get more playing time, which is going to be cutting into Kelly Olynyk as the year goes on. I imagine that we should see probably Kessler pick up more minutes than Olynyk on the regular as the season winds down here. All right, let's switch gears and go to players you should be considering picking up. We're going to start back in Denver with Bones Highland. 48% owned, 24 minutes per game here last week, 14.5 points, 2.3 rebounds, 6.3 assists on 48% shooting from the field, 67 from the line. Honestly, would much rather see Bones Highland on my team than KCP, who was one of my drop candidates here earlier. Shots were falling for Highland here last week. He's currently 40.1% on the season, so maybe we're starting to see a little bit of a turnaround there. We're going to need to see more of that, of course, for me to feel comfortable that that's going to be a thing going forward. But if he can keep up that efficiency, that's really going to raise his value quite fast. So keep an eye on Bones Highland. I would say give him a shot here this week and see how he runs here for you. Next up, we got Dante DiVincenzo for Golden State. 34 minutes per game here last week. He's currently owned in 43% of leagues. 9.3 points, 7.3 rebounds, 4.3 assists, 2.3 steals, 35% from the field, 100% from the line. He had an 0 for 4 day here, kind of tossed in with his weak numbers, and his shooting hasn't been lights out, but he's certainly contributing in threes, and he's really putting up some big numbers here for rebounds and assists and steals. So he's making up his he's making it up here by having a really good all-around game here over the last couple of weeks. And, he's going to be getting these type of minutes while Steph is out nursing a shoulder injury. So really, I would say if he's in your league here, pick him up at least until Steph gets back, and then start to see how the minutes fall here for Dante, and keep him if he's still getting some solid minutes, or drop him if he's not. Up next, we're going to go to New York. Quentin Grimes, 42% owned, 40 minutes per game last week, 20.3 points, 4.0 rebounds, 2.0 assists, 1.3 steals, and 42% shooting from the field, 89% from the line. The only reason why he received so many minutes here last week is that overtime game where I think they played, Thibodeau played 5 guys, almost 50 minutes a game that game here. You saw a huge spike, of course, in Emmanuel Quickley's lines here as well, in the amount of minutes that he's got in. Really because Brunson was down as well as RJ Barrett. Now, Brunson is back. He's actually playing today. Barrett's out, I think, for another week or so. So Quentin Grimes was already on the roster on the starting 5 here before their main guys started going down here. So I think, honestly, he should be rostered ahead of Quickley. He is a solid defender, and he's averaging 2.6 3-pointers made per game over the last 30 days. So I think he's really got a good feel for what he has to offer here in the NBA, on his NBA team here. So I think he's definitely deserving of at least a shot to see if he can fit into your fantasy squad. Up next, we're going to go to San Antonio. Jeremy Sochan. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce his last name. Sochan? Nevertheless, 37% owned, 30 minutes per game here last week, 13.5 points, 6.3 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 49% shooting from the field, 83% from the line. Whatever you do, don't sleep on him. He chips in everywhere, and he's getting some big minutes on a tanking team, so that's just going to spell a lot of opportunities for him to really put up some nice numbers for your fantasy squad. He's going to help you with steals, he's going to help you with blocks, he's going to chip in a couple 3-pointers once in a while, and he's pretty much good across the board. So go ahead and pick him up if you can, and see how well he can perform here on your squad. Last but not least, let's go to Washington. We got Daniel Gafford, 37% owned, 25 minutes per game, 12.5 points, 6.5 rebounds, 1.3 assists, 2.3 blocks on 79% shooting from the field, 86 from the line. He has always had elite block potential, and now he's getting some starting minutes here beside Porzingis, which is huge because you wouldn't think that both of them would be playing on the court on the same time. But now he is. So figure that that team's gonna go jumbo here, and Gafford is gonna have, you know, a bigger share of the minutes going around. He's been super efficient shooting here last week. Don't think that's going to last, especially with the free throw percentage. He's typically a 70% free throw shooter here, so expect regression in that sense here. But for the most part, we can certainly work with a center that is able to deliver these type of numbers. So go ahead and give him a shot if you need a center, especially somebody who can contribute in the block category. And that's going to do it here for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this here. Please be sure to leave a like on this video if you did enjoy it here, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet done so that way we can get you in on that giveaway once we hit 1,000 subscribers. Well, that's going to do it for this one, guys. Thanks again for watching. We are going to sign off for now, but we are going to catch you guys on our next episode.